Start that again. Good evening, everybody. Is everybody, can you hear okay? All right, we have a small but mighty crew tonight. I'm trying to get a hold of John to see if he can get logged in so we get a treasurer's report. So give me 1 second to see if he answers me, and then we'll jump in, and it can be a awesome, productive, quick meeting. How's that sound?
I am good with that.
He answers me here in a second. We'll call to order. Tina sent out the minutes from last meeting. Thank you, Tina. Did anybody have any questions or things to add to Tina's minutes? All right, we will circle back to treasurer's report if we hear from John. So we'll jump into beginning band and orchestra updates. Whoever would like to go first, maybe.
I will go first because Mark, I think, is manning the door at the moment. Biggest thing at the moment is just preparing for our first concert. So we're changing it up a little bit for our first concert because usually we have a lot of people that come to our first concert. So the way we're going to do it this year is we're going to use Gym 2 as our staging area. And beginning band is going to go at 7 o'clock. And then after that, we are going to have everyone empty out of this gym from beginning band, have the kids go back to Gym 2 to pack up their belongings, at which point Jazz Combo will entertain people in the cafeteria while music parents sell dilly bars. And then after they are finished, we will have beginning orchestra already set up in Gym 1 again. And then we'll have parents go in and have beginning orchestra perform, and then after which we'll have them go out and music parents sell dilly bars again, I believe is the plan, right? Mr. Smith, are they them sell dilly bars twice? Yes. Okay. So that is the current plan. So normally what we would do is we would just have orchestra, then beginning band, and then end with jazz combo and keep them all in the same room. But since we usually have a very large turnout for this event, we're going to change it up a little bit just so that way we follow occupancy guidelines with COVID and make sure that we don't overcrowd the gym. We'll be sending out an update letter, both from the beginning band and from the beginning orchestra side separately to parents rather than sending a joint letter because they're going to have different start times as well as different times for students to show up. So then, like I said, we're going to be using Gym 2 as our staging area because we can spread the kids out. And then have Gym 1 as our performance area. We would like, if we can try to get some music parent volunteers of people who are not performing at that event, parents who have kids that are not performing, just to kind of help not only manage people, but kids as well as watching the Gym 2 while we're not in there to make sure that nothing walks off or nothing gets damaged. So if you would like to volunteer, let Mr. Smith or I know. Other than that, as far as just beginning band stuff goes, we're pretty much in a concert mode right now. So all the kids are getting prepared for concert season and we're going from there. Do you have anything to add for beginning orchestra? I don't know that they can.
Hey, can I ask a question? I want to clarify for the notes. So who goes first, orchestra or band?
So band will be performing at, right now the setup is band will be performing at 7 o'clock.
Okay.
We will have jazz combo at 7:15 in the cafeteria. And then have beginning orchestra at 7:30 in Gym 1 again.
Okay, so in Gym 2 is where like all the orchestra parents and the students will sit and wait until their time to go on.
Just the orchestra students. So orchestra students and band students will be in gym 2. That's where our
Okay.
staging area.
For students, parents can,
cafeteria.
where all the parents will sit in the gym, or you're gonna have them sit in the cafeteria?
They can hang out in the cafeteria. We'll have the combo performing there. We'll also have live streams of the concert up in the cafeteria and in gym 2. So kids in gym 2 can watch the band perform. And the same thing
Okay.
for parents. If they want to watch, or jazz combo kids want to watch, we'll have the concert going in all the spaces. So that way, wherever you're at, you can still see the concert.
Okay,
Or at least that's the
okay, perfect. So we just need a few parents to patrol the children. Okay,
Yeah, just to make sure that like nothing gets broken or wanders off from gym 2.
okay. Okay,
And so we also have staggered arrival times. So band students should be arriving at 6:15 and orchestra students are arriving at 6:45. So pretty much by the time that orchestra students are arriving, band students should already be in gym 1. So that way parents can have some time to take pictures of the kids while they're in the performance area, because we always
Mhm.
like to give them a little time to do that. So that should kind of help with the crowding too, is by basically there should really be no point at which any of the groups would really occupy the same space. Or at least none of the beginning band or orchestra students occupy the same space. At least that's the plan.
can you do me a favor when you finalize this, when you send it to your beginning band parents, can you send it to me too, so I make sure I can get the proper coverage?
Sure.
Thank you. Because I'm gonna have to add some slots to the 14th.
Okay.
Or just the times when people are working.
Okay. Do you have any?
Frank said it pretty much it. I think for us and even the middle school, Betty Salgado, who is now our online person, is doing an excellent job. So if we want any information pushed out on social media, we should send information to her. She's been sending out a lot of beginning ensemble stuff, just because, of course, I mean, she's a fifth grade parent, so she gets all that information in emails. But if IT wants to start pushing stuff out as well for volunteers for concerts, as well as any other concert information, I'm sure she would put that out there as well.
Yeah, we do have, we can send out the email we created. Because that's how she's been collecting stuff. Or we can.
Can you send me her contact information too when you get a chance, Mr. Cannon?
Yeah, we can add her to the board email, because technically she's a board member, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, she is a board member. And maybe she'll be like music parent president next year.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, now that she's in a position, isn't she on the board now? Or is that not?
Well, technically, the positions I think outlined in the bylaw are president, vice president.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
I
That's
mean,
why I asked.
technically in the bylaw. I don't think that is a position on the board.
Okay, well, I will just email everyone on the board their email address so that way.
Put her in the board.
Okay. That's why I asked. I didn't know.
But I
So
mean, according to the bylaws, there is not a board position for
that
social
position.
media or whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
I still think we should have her come to meetings.
Oh, yeah. That's why I'm like,
I know, I think I slacked a little bit on that. We did not send out parent communication about this until about 5 o'clock. It totally just escaped our minds, so we apologize. We'll make sure to include her and let her know future dates. And let her know that we would like her to be here, because a lot of stuff that we discussed would be, she could post.
that'd be awesome. Well, for- I think if we really want that to be a position, we should change our bylaws.
Okay. Yeah, because I think we created the position after we did the bylaws. I just fine. I didn't know.
Or
So,
we'll just call her vice president.
Yes.
President slash like social media.
and
Yeah.
I think we just
We
kinda-
can simply call her vice president and now she's on the board.
Okay, well, that solved that problem. Okay,
You can email her and say congratulations.
congratulations, you've been promoted.
Yes. Oh my gosh, this is perfect. Yay.
Congratulations, you've been promoted. We love what you've done. You've been promoted.
Uh-huh.
But she has been doing a great job with the social media side, so we thank her for that.
Very good.
Awesome.
John did come, so I don't know if you want to circle back or do IT
Hi,
first.
John. Do you, want to do our treasurer's report?
Sure, because I actually cannot sit for very long, so I'm gonna have to bail pretty much right after this. Plus, I have therapy. So. Am I good here? Why isn't it moving though? So we had a beginning balance of $4,035. We had the Illinois filing refund, but then we refiled, so that was a wash. And apparently Swag is depositing the orders. They give us a daily total. So at some point I'm gonna have to go and like reconcile to make sure that we're getting the right amount, but these are daily totals from Swag, which came out to roughly what, $675 in sales for October. So our current balance for the end of October is $4,710. As far as the Dilly Bar sales went, the cash that came back to me was $742. I was told that we received $345 in donations. And we started with a cash box of $200. And then the Dilly Bars themselves cost $143.75. So we made a profit of $53.25. And I think there was like 18 bars or something left over that we didn't sell. If that's right.
Yeah, well, you know, they weren't marked or anything. So,
I didn't hear one word of that.
The 18 dilly bars that were left over were put in the freezer here, but they were
Okay.
gone next morning. Somebody
Okay.
helped themselves. It's okay. I think that bake sale from the leftovers from the social was awesome. It was a great idea. It worked out fantastic. I think it cut into the dilly bar sales a little bit because they just did the donation for the baked goods and then didn't get a dilly bar, but it was totally worth it. Totally. You know, still a good thing. That lots of people really like that. So that is something to keep in mind for the future if you do the social before the concert. And then you sell the leftover items. It's a good money maker. For sure. We have a check, John, from the popcorn fundraiser.
Okay.
Would you like me to drop that by your house?
Or I could pick it up. Whatever, it's easier.
Whatever's easier for you.
What's easier for you, Karen? Can we pick up a check?
Hey, Karen, are you
Come
coming
to
to the P?
Yes,
Yeah, we
Karen,
can
are
pick it up.
you coming?
yeah, I'll be there. What day is it? Tuesday or Wednesday?
It's Wednesday. How about if I just give you the check at the PTA meeting on Wednesday?
Perfect.
All right, there we go. Great. Any questions for John on the treasurer's report? Have we?
Oh, and
paid the-
I take it, I was gonna save the $200 cash for the next event, right? Is that about right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
And then have we paid the swag bill yet?
That's in the mail. That's in the mail. Check's in the mail, as they say.
awesome. 587.
Yes. 587.60, yes.
Okay. And that all has been delivered and handed out, I believe, correct?
Well, sorted, some has been handed out. We're still handing out some.
Okay,
It's a process.
but it's basically check.
Yep.
Nothing for further to do with.
Awesome. Thank you, John.
No problem.
IT band choir orchestra updates. Anybody want to go first?
I'll jump in. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
I'm gonna go now.
Okay. Bye, John. So Indian Trail choirs are doing great. We are getting ready for our 2 concerts next week. We have a concert on Tuesday along with the jazz combo or ensemble. So that'll be 7th and 8th grade choir on Tuesday, December 7th. And then the 6th grade choir along with the 6th grade band and orchestra will be performing on December 9th. The students are very excited. They're looking forward to their first concert since 2019. And we're looking forward to getting that done and having a great concert and performing for our families and then riding into the end of the year.
Mr. Jenkins, you guys are performing on the 7th for your concert, and then
7th, 8th
again,
grade. Mhm.
and then again on the 9th at the 6th grade.
Right, 6th grade and Glee Club.
Perfect. Thank you.
I'm just going to go on for Mr. I have it. I was just gonna say. So this is an update from Mr. Menendez. His update is we had our first concert with the 7th and 8th graders and it went so well. I'm very proud of the students and their hard work. We have a handful of concerts coming up for jazz combo and ensemble and our first concert ever for our 6th graders. I have a couple of housekeeping items that need to be addressed. Did the jazz jamboree payment get paid and sent off?
I think John left. Karen's here yet.
And then he's
What was
gonna-
that? The Jamboree payment
The Jazz Jamboree for Thomas Middle
Jamboree?
School.
for Thomas Middle School?
Know nothing about it.
He doesn't know anything about it. Was there a bill sent?
Yeah, no, there's not a bill. I know Mason was gonna contact him directly to give him the information on where to send that check.
Okay, well, it hasn't been done yet.
Okay.
Is it from a long time ago?
We approved it at our last meeting.
Last meeting?
I'm looking, give me a chance. No, I'll have to look.
Some guy named Mason?
It's a minute.
Do you know the name?
No, that isn't that. Whatever it is has not been taken care of.
Okay, it hasn't been taken care of, so
It is
he'll,
not.
that's what I'm saying. It has not been taken care of, so he'll have to check that out soon.
Okay, thank you. I'll check with- Mr. Manette will also double check with you tomorrow.
Okay,
And then also, Mr. Cannon sent Mr. Manette a note about the Winter Band Festival coming up in January. He said that perhaps Ms. Stoika or Mr. Tankersley would like to chime in on this. They mentioned that I could open this up to all band students. It's Saturday, January 15th at the Orland Park Civic Center. The SWCCB looks forward to hosting your students for an exciting day of music and fun to chase away the midwinter blues. Registration is open to all current band students in grades 6 through 8. This unique event requires no audition. The only requirement is that students must have at least 1 year playing experience. The registration fee is $25 per student, which includes a pizza, lunch, beverage, and a dessert. Please see below for registration options. The day begins at 8:30 and concludes with a 3 p.m. concert. The students would have to find a ride to the event, but Mr. Manette would be there for them if we have interested students. The one thing here would be payment. I know there will be discussion on solo and ensemble stuff, so I didn't want to stretch the music parents too thin, but thought I would at least mention it and you guys could discuss if this is something that the music parents wanted to reach out and help pay for. That's it. Thanks, Mr. Manette.
Wait, is this like a teaching concert where then they all come together, or or is this like a competition concert?
So it's set up very similarly, uh, similar, say it again.
Similarly,
Okay, it's set up, like, all state, but basically for the middle school level. So, okay.
You're using
so,
words I don't know.
All right, so basically what happens is it's open for students and they can volunteer to go and get together with 6 to 8 students from all over the area and kind of make one big band of 6 to 8 students in the area. They usually do a little bit of a like rehearsal, then they have a break for lunch, and then they have a concert. It would be optional, but it would be a great like extra learning activity for the band students because they would get to work with another band director and kind of just have some outside of school fun.
and get to play with kids that are not from Addison,
Yeah.
which is the other.
Okay, so
thing.
it's kind of like a master class. They would show up, they would kind of group them together, they would learn a new song, practice it, and then perform it in front of people.
Yes.
Yes? Awesome. That's a cool opportunity.
This is, we've done some stuff similar to it, but this is like only the second year they've done this. They did it right before COVID. And then obviously with COVID, they stopped doing it and now they're doing it.
Lauren participated in the Club, same as Mr. Baker's Week in 2019. That is very similar to that.
Well, like I said, we've done similar things, but not. Okay.
That just depends how, I mean, if you get 100 kids that are interested, that would stretch us pretty thin. And if you've got 10 kids who are interested, that's no problem. You know, that's a tough one to answer financially. Yeah. Until you have some idea of who's interested, but it's hard to ask who's interested if you don't know if they have to pay for the whole fee.
Well, you-
Mr. Menin has sent out an interest form.
You did send it out?
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure he's had some. I can't tell if I can't remember if it was specifically solo ensemble or if it was this ensemble.
I know we sent that one for solo and ensemble.
All we've received is solo and ensemble, not for this festival.
And the other
Yeah.
alternative that you could do is you could set a bridge amount. So like we would allocate X amount towards it, and then you divide that by how many students are going. So if you set aside $500 and you get, 15 students that want to go, it covers their entire fee. If you get 100 students that want to go, it covers their entire fee. If you get the whole band that wants to go, then it wouldn't cover their entire fee. It would cover a portion. So you could set a bridge amount. Sure. That would be my suggestion.
Well, we have several financial, before we decide on that, or I'd like to discuss again, I kind of want to know what we want to, something that's going to be brought up with solo and ensemble. And we also need to talk about some possible help for students who can't pay their fees. So I think we have 3 financial things we need to talk about. So maybe we could discuss all of those together and then come to some consensus at the end. Is that okay?
Yeah.
I kind of know what figures we might be talking about.
I can text Mr. Lemon and see if he sends anything out or has any idea of students. We can get kind of a ballpark for approximately how many students will participate.
Got it. Okay, right now.
Because that might help.
Yeah, it might help us have some idea.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna make sure that the Jazz Jamboree is getting paid and taken care of. Following up on that because we already approved that at the last meeting. Make sure that gets taken care of. So if it's okay, we'll come back and circle to this after a little more discussion. Anything else there? So then we need to have our orchestra update.
So 7th and 8th grade did have their concerts as well. It was fantastic. I personally had a lot of fun. I think it was more fun for me though, because I actually kind of saw that spark back in students' eyes once they were like, oh yeah, this is why we're doing it. So that's what I enjoyed, was watching them enjoy it. And now they're like all fired up, ready to go. I have had more kids take their instruments home since the concert than I did before, which is both good and bad. Should have been taking them home before, but details. Sixth grade has their concert on the 9th. I'm very excited. I think they are too. And the biggest thing with orchestra right now is we're talking about solo and ensemble. And I'm kind of I have an idea of students that want to do a solo, and I'm getting together sort of the ensembles and making those groupings and picking out music this week. So that's the big thing with orchestra.
Great. But awesome. Then we'll move on to some old business. Eileen isn't here, so we don't have any updates on where we're standing with the tax exempt status. Last thing.
I talked to her today, Tracy. She said they have not contacted her yet, so she legitimately has no information.
Literally no information. I was gonna say, I know we've refiled, and I know we were waiting. Flag updates, so we saw that information already. All the flag items came in, and they're being handed out by the directors, so that's covered. The popcorn fundraiser. The numbers that are on the screen, I typed that before it actually closed. We had some last minute sales, so the numbers went up. Our total sales were $8,635. I thought that was absolutely awesome. I don't know how everybody else feels about that number, but I was impressed. And our percentage of that, we have a check for $4,523.75 that I'm going to give to Karen to give to John on Wednesday when I see her. So we'll get that deposited. I think that's outstanding it's a fundraiser that takes very little work. This year, I didn't even have a lot of, hey, we're missing this. Last year, we kind of had quite a few snags along the way. There are a couple things I would put in the notes for next year. If you decide to do it again, somebody has to really stay on top of Chad, the guy who's on top of it, because he doesn't set it up the way we tell him to at first. For example, he had them getting popcorn as their prize instead of the trinket prizes like we had asked for. So you gotta kind of really stay on top at the beginning because they don't do that. I even told a fib, and I'm going to tell you that. And I said, our district doesn't want us to collect donations through a third-party source. We have our own donations. I know the district didn't say that, but it sounds logical, doesn't it? So I said, please take the donation button off because they take a percentage of that when someone donates to us. And we don't need that because we have our own store where people can donate whenever they want. I emailed 3 times about it. It was still there. And we did get donations, which is why it's not a true 50-50 profit split, because if somebody donated, we get a higher percentage, because I kept saying 50-50 is not right for donations. But that donation button should go away on the site and let people donate directly so that the full amount goes to the music department. Those would be 2 things I would suggest. But as far as a good fundraiser, it's painless. It's painless.
I will say the only thing is it's a little confusing for some students who sign up. So I feel like, I don't know if there's anything to make that any easier. I sat down with pretty much every student and showed them how to do it, but still that communication back to the parents and stuff like that. So it is what it is, but
it didn't help that we it didn't help that we didn't get the packet until after we started, because those packets had a lot of information that would probably help and would be easy for the parents to see as well. But those didn't arrive to us until like a week into the fundraiser.
Also, is it possible to get those instructions in S5 mode?
We commented that to him last year, and he said, we don't have that, but we will look into it. So that is something that should be asked again. Because we did ask for it in different languages last year. Yeah, they do not.
That would be a big help, and I think we would get a few more students involved.
Yeah. Overall, there was only 179 kids selling, which is not a huge number, but a great profit from there. We had talked about top sellers, prizes, so doing a t-shirt or some swag items for the top sellers. And we never really came to consensus if we wanted to do it by ensemble or by grade level, since we included 5th grade this year. We didn't really come to a decision that I have in my notes. So I think we can still, unless directors directly told them something, we'll discuss that, but we should make sure. So when we do our spring sale for swag, we need to include items for the top. Other thoughts on that? What do you guys think would be best for by grade level or by ensemble?
Well, my only fear is by grade levels, most of our top sellers are 5th grade. With the exception.
Yeah, I was just wondering, like, where's your bulk? It's a bulk for 6th graders?
Well, the bulk of our higher sellers were 5th grade.
That would make sense.
So I almost feel like
Ensemble?
that we, unless you think differently.
Why break it up? Why not just top sellers?
You just want to do top 3 sellers instead of just doing.
Yeah, these top 3 did the best.
Yeah. I know before we tried to do it to make it more motivating in the ensemble.
Well, our top 3 are in different ensembles. Well, Joey's and Workers. Orchestra. Well, Yolanda's technically the. And then Ferguson is.
Nobody's inquired.
All right.
Last year,
Now, well, and then the 4th place is the choir, right? That's what you said.
Peter Sanisardo choir.
So I'm just going to chime in here. It's first, I do want to say it's really challenging to hear the people that are in person. I don't know if there's anything we can do about that. But from what I'm hearing, and music parents, this is your choice of how you'd like to do this. But I know that last year we did it by ensemble. And I believe that that's kind of how we advertised it to students this year. So I mean, that's just kind of my 2 cents on it.
Oh, if we advertise it that way, then that's exactly what we have to do. Then
I'm
this
not
is not
sure-
just up for discussion. Just
I'm not sure what the what Cindy and Mason did. I thought that was already discussed. And I thought that we kind of went that way, but that I could have been wrong.
Is Peter Sanisardo in choir?
No.
No. So the hardest thing is on the list this year, they did not sort these students by band, orchestra, and choir. So I have a list of who the top sellers are, but I don't know who's a band, orchestra, or choir kid. I mean, obviously you guys know, but I need to know who would be the top choir salesperson then. Does that make sense?
Sure. Would I have that information?
Do you,
I sent it out in an email. I scanned in the list of students and the items they sold that that Tracy gave me the beginning of the night, and I scanned it in and I sent it out as an email like right before the meeting started.
All right. So let me look through here, and I can just tally up who was the highest seller for choir.
so Yolanda, or what the student is orchestra?
Yep.
Is orchestra. Ferguson is band.
Joey's band.
Yeah, he'll withdraw. He won't take a prize. He doesn't know he got one, so he doesn't need to know a difference.
There's an XX. That's the last. I don't know who that is. I don't know if you guys do either. But it looks like top seller in choir was Christina Gagnez with 12 items.
I got it.
Christina Godinez.
Right here, second person on the list.
I got it right there. So she's choir. Yolanda Prado is orchestra and Tristan Ferguson is band. And Joey Paza is just as well.
You get the pat on the
So-
back.
Okay, so we have Tristan Ferguson. Can you give me the other two names, please?
Well,
Santiago.
Santiago Prado Orchestra.
Okay, and Tristan
Christina-
Ferguson.
Christina Godinez,
problem with
choir.
Tristan is that's, I believe, dad's name and they're twins. So they're gonna have to share. So that, I'm just saying, so I would just put Ferguson because I don't know which of the two boys it goes to. So I would just put the Ferguson twins.
Could we ask that you get in touch with those students and ask what size of shirt
Mhm.
they need? Okay, and we'll order it in the spring sweat. So we will order 3 t-shirts for the top sellers when we order our spring swag, just so we have that in our minutes so we don't forget.
We will then also have to decide if the students that are currently in 5th grade who were the top sellers, if they're getting 5th grade swag or IT swag.
If we're not getting it until spring, maybe we get them IT swag.
I would just do IT swag.
That, because originally I thought the plan was the junior high was per ensemble and then 5th grade was its own. So the
Okay.
top 5th grade seller got something, and then the top junior high band orchestra choir.
Well, if you
That's
wanna
what
do
Oh, so we need
that,
another,
So then you would need a
All
right.
band kit.
But
We
if
need a
we do it
band
this
kit.
way,
All
that's
right, hold
totally
on.
fine.
Hold on a second, I'll find a band
Wait.
kit.
Wait, Ferguson is 5th grade?
Yeah, 5th grade.
So
Yeah.
there's our 5th grade.
No, so 5th grade would be his.
Oh,
his
Prado.
Orchestra. So hold on a second, I'll find a band kit.
We need a junior high orchestra too.
It'd be Mars.
I don't think so.
No, Santa's card.
I think it's Jeff Ross. I'm on it, Mark.
Mars sold 26 items.
Yeah.
So we're doing 4 top sellers. 1 band, IT. 1 choir, IT. 1 orchestra, IT, and 1 5th grade.
That's what we had thought about in the past.
Problem is these people use parents' names.
Yeah.
Say, I have no clue who that is, sorry. Is that not one of yours, Cindy?
It might be one of his new ones, because he did recruit a couple new ones. So we'll just have Mr. Manent look it over and get back to you as which band kit is the highest.
We're just gonna ask you guys to tell us what size t-shirts we need to order for the spring.
Yeah, and we can put together a group email with student name, size. That way it's all in one spot.
But then, yeah, your
Everybody will have it.
orchestra kit would be BTA. And I would just do an IT,
That makes sense to me.
They're
They
getting
already-
it in
because we have to do a
spring.
minimum, don't we have to do a minimum for,
Yeah, we still have to do a minimum order,
so I would just do IT swag.
I would too, and they already bought a hoodie and a shirt.
so they don't need another one. Yeah, they would rather have IT. Perfect.
Well, they have a shirt for the kid and then they ordered, never mind, order that.
We will order all IT t-shirts.
Or teddy bear. 'cause we haven't thought of that.
I was just gonna say, did we tell them they were getting shirts?
Here's a teddy bear.
You can get
I'm trying to remember, honestly, for orchestra, I might have mentioned it.
Okay. Well,
I don't remember for sure,
all right,
because I know I'm also doing top seller per class period for me, and they're getting giant squishmallows.
awesome.
What's a squish?
Did we
Those
do
really squishy
top
pillows.
seller out of everybody gets that
Gift card.
gift card?
Well, it would be Joey,
Yeah.
and we're just gonna decline it.
Okay, so then it would be Prado.
Well, I think, no, I mean, like, it would go to Joey, we're just donating it back to the music parents.
Thank you for Joey's generous donation.
Please don't tell Joey, he just lost a $50 gift card.
I already texted him.
He already knows. He's on the snap.
I don't.
This is recorded, Tracy. You know, come on.
I'm
Years
Yeah,
from
he doesn't
now, he's gonna be like,
mind.
darn it.
20 years from now, he'll find this.
Mom.
What?
You're right. That's true. So true. All
41
right.
minutes in. Okay, so just someone send me an email with all the names of who's getting what, and I'll edit to the minutes so I spell everyone's name correctly. You could do that later. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. The check has come in, but the prizes are still yet to arrive at schools. They said they would be 1 to 2 weeks behind the check. If you need help sorting the prizes, give us a yell. But you have the list of which prizes are going to which kid.
Did you guys
So-
sort them last year or did they come pre-sorted?
I sorted them last year.
Oh, I was like, because they showed up here all pre-sorted. It was so nice. I was like, this is great.
Yes, they did.
I don't mind doing it. I sorted and folded all the t-shirts and swag and stuff.
Yeah,
so I
yeah,
don't
we'll
mind.
do it on Friday morning.
That's awesome. That's awesome. But so you will, I mean, you have the list of who gets what. So that's good. I think music parents had their own account somehow.
Yep.
And we are getting prizes. So I would say,
It's him.
I wanted to send out a neutral one so it didn't seem like we were competing with other teachers.
And I got 2 prizes for William. So I'm happy.
I was gonna say, and I would say, do what you want with those prizes.
Especially because we sent the link to district office. We should give a prize to Mr. Langton.
Yeah, because he
Because
donated.
he was one who donated $50.
Yeah,
Nice. Nice. We should give him a prize, give him a keychain.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Here's your $50
There we go.
keychain.
yeah.
Under all business, anything else, I'm sorry, for fundraiser? Are we good? All right.
Move on.
November 5th social was a great success. I'm not sure how many kids actually showed up, but it was a lot. And I mean, the food and the craziness was insanity, but awesome insanity.
It was about 140 kids.
140 kids, that's awesome. Fifth grade
7
was a
tons of
large
chips.
percent. I know some people had talked about maybe improvements or notes for future events. Does anybody have anything they want to share now?
More people, more adults if we can, for when we do it again.
I think we also need a director in each of the rooms, because at some points, they don't always listen to the parents, adults. So like you have a teacher with parent helpers as their like assistants.
We pretty much had a director in.
There was nobody in gym 2.
Oh, in
No,
two?
gym 2 was a free for all.
Yeah,
Oh,
there was supposed to be somebody in gym.
there
2.
was somebody assigned to be in gym 2, but yeah, we had assigned it.
But
But,
that would be good.
okay, yes, we'll
Also,
make sure that
just for,
happens.
to have a school personnel person in each room is probably.
And in the spring, it is going to be a little different. The first hour of the social in the spring, we are using the grant money that we get to bring in a mariachi group.
Yay!
So it's gonna be a little bit more of a family type thing right away. I already have a bunch of moms and aunts that want to come and give dance lessons during the mariachi performance. So at least at that point, for the first
That
like
sounds
hour, everybody will pretty much be in the comments. Or maybe the gym, depending on where we put people for the mariachi. So hopefully that
Mhm.
will also help with some of the rowdiness because it won't be 2 hours of a free for all.
You're in DeCamps Fisher Race, so let's call Grandpa down real quick.
Was that it?
No, I don't think she realizes she's unmuted.
Okay, I was just like, what? I missed it.
That sounds like a really nice way to do the evening. Less free time is good.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you have a date on the calendar, but if there's a spring concert that follows it, it's probably a good idea because you could sell those leftovers again.
Well, it's April
20 something?
April 22nd.
Okay,
I'll look at my calendar.
it's on the calendar
And
already.
then we have beginning ensemble concert on May 3rd, so that'd be a week and a half later.
Too far
I agree.
for
I
baked
think-
goods.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, not that the expiration date is bad necessarily, but that's a long time to store them. and have
Right,
to-
and I think the IT ensembles have a later date because
Yep.
they also have a March concert, I believe, or festivals and stuff like that, so they go later.
Gotcha. Okay,
And I know Keith has already secured the dates for the social, so no chance of
Yeah.
changing.
oh, that's fine.
And I think it was something weird with the 29th too.
Yeah, the play's going on.
There you go.
We couldn't do the 29th because the play was going on.
We could see about selling it at the play.
No,
We could just also ask people to only bring one thing.
Well, the problem was people were bringing one things, but they were bringing giant boxes.
Which I'm not gonna lie, I kind of loved. I love seeing the tiny little
I
fifth grader with a
love
giant.
the
big chips.
generosity of all those kids that brought something.
Yeah.
That warmed my heart just seeing that. But I do think we need to regulate, what is being brought somehow, even if it's just saying one bag of chips rather than, but
Can we do like a sign up genius where it limits the amount of certain items?
For families to sign up.
Yeah, so like a box, so like people could sign up to bring a box of chips and we do like 12 boxes of chips and like 12 boxes or like 5 boxes of brownies or whatever it happens to be.
And the individually portioned ones are nice. I mean, the big bag is convenient, but the individually portioned ones are better.
that day,
Yeah,
whatever's
and
left, free donation.
My concern with doing a sign up genius is like this event, we didn't really expect to have 140 people show up. And if
Yeah.
we would have done a sign up genius with the amount we were estimating would show up, we would not have had enough food,
You're right.
which is.
Also,
part of
too,
why-
I mean, that means that we have to be like organized. I went out like right before and got snacks.
Okay. I didn't know. Otherwise, we could do like, I know in years past, we've taken extra stuff over to the police department.
We'll figure it out. It's in the spring, you know.
That's what we could do.
Police department, food pantry.
Yeah,
There's
food
places
pantry,
to
police
take it.
department. People can take it home. Take 2 bags with you.
William can have a big party. at
we
home.
Oh,
send it to
William will
district
totally
office to
eat
stay on
all
their
the
good
chips.
side.
All right.
Yeah, we'll send it to Mr. Langton.
Yeah, it'll be his retirement gift from us.
Awesome. November 9th concert. I think we talked about that. Went great. Selling leftover baked items was awesome. That was $345 in donations. We had ordered 75 chocolate and 40 cherry dilly bars. We had 18 left over. There was a suggestion that people really liked having the goods to buy before the concert. So somebody, one of the other parents that was working there suggested selling the leftover chips at the 7th and 9th concerts. But we had said we would probably save those for solo and ensemble contest. So we just have to discuss if we want to. I also think chips are messy and noisy to sell before a concert.
I'd be
Well,
worried about
and
them
we
stealing
don't
the
want
lunch.
them, we don't want people in the gym eating
They're
with
not-
their masks off, so.
Right. So we want to
that's-
avoid that.
yeah.
We'll save them for solo and ensemble contest was my first thought, but I wanted to bring it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we can go through them maybe, and if there's one that's like not gonna be good by the time we get to solo and ensemble, then maybe we figure something out.
We
Like throw
tried
those out with the
to,
dilly
well,
bars, but
not with the chips, but with all the other baked goods, we checked expiration dates.
yeah, with the chips, I mean, chips should last a while, but just in case.
As long as it doesn't end up back in a closet for 5 years like the pop.
There is a 7th, 8th grade spring concert flyer, April 28th. the
And
Thursday
social
after.
is the 22nd.
Yeah.
So that's a little less than a week.
That's doable. April 28th.
Yep.
Spring choir concert cell.
7th and
leftovers.
8th grade.
There you go.
And then ours is the following Tuesday.
But that's a little too far.
I think so too. But the
some of the
28th wouldn't be
baked
bad.
Well, I was thinking if it's closed, it's like the stuff like that's in there, like the
Oh, yeah,
closed
if we have
Oreos and
extra
stuff like
vessels,
that.
then Definitely.
Oh, well,
but
yeah.
Like if it's closed Oreos or stuff like that, we
Oh,
could totally do
1000%,
it. But if
yeah.
it's open stuff, I wouldn't.
Right.
So I would say sell the open stuff at the choir thing and then anything
We
that's
didn't,
closed. you can sell.
we didn't sell any open stuff. But the only stuff that we resold was in containers that were sealed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but like those, like the sugar cookies with the frosting that you always buy from like the bakery section,
Well, that's stuff,
those
yeah.
might not last a week and a half.
Yeah.
No.
But like the Oreos
But the
will,
Oreo,
like the Oreos and the,
Oreos are my go-to for zombie apocalypse.
And we'll see what we get left over. April 22nd social, we can resell at the April 28th choir concert.
did you get that, Keith? Okay.
For our December concerts, we have December 7th, 9th, and 14th. How many dilly bars should we order for each concert?
Well, we have 130 beginners plus how many kids for? That's what, 20 kids
I'd
for,
say about 100 150 kids in total between the two ensembles plus IT combo, which is what, another 15 ish.
But we also don't want to order a ton and have them left over because that's the last concert.
And that's,
Yes, and we will have to figure out a way where we can, if it means going into our deep freeze at home, that's fine, but we want to keep them safe from the 7th to the 9th to the 14th, because there's no reason to lose that profit.
We could
You know what
put
I-
a sign up on the thing, but yeah, I would.
Because we
We
did
can-
not.
Can
mark
we
them.
ask Jamros if we can use the Arbor freezer?
well, Dairy Queen used to just make a delivery per concert.
Right, but if we have
If we have
leftovers
If
on
we
the
have
7th,
leftovers, yeah, then, I mean,
because I won't put an order in for the 14th till after the 9th concert to see how
Yeah.
many we have.
the
left over.
problem with doing it in the Arbor stuff is just the need for the keys and all that other stuff. And then half the time you have to move all their stuff out of the way to get to what you need.
But do we need these now?
I would say maybe we can talk to Mr. Jamros about using one of the fridges in the copy room and like labeling it as like a no touchy.
Well, I know those are.
Because it
full.
won't last at my house. It'll get eaten.
They
I'm
have-
just gonna put it out there.
They have what you call it.
These freezers don't ever really get used.
No,
Well,
but
that's
these
where they put
ones,
them now.
I'm afraid of more people just cooking.
Even if we put signs.
Yeah.
probably.
Or what if we ask DO? Because they have a fridge in there too.
Then we're gonna have to make sure somebody's here to let us in and out of DO.
Our badges work in DO.
That's how I made coffee.
Yeah, we could get in,
That's how I make
we can
copies
get in
every
and
day.
out
I
of
went
DO.
in and out.
So
So one of you would have to be at all the concerts. Well, one of the two of you would have to be there, because the other three of us don't,
I have no life,
okay?
so I already planned. on
That's
being-
fine, then if you want to check with DO and just make sure that it's okay with them, I am on board for that.
Yeah, I have,
Do you want to do that since you'll be here?
yeah, I have no life, so I volunteer.
Saying we
Volunteer.
have-
you're
Yeah,
making all of our signs.
I can make more signs for sales.
Please, Mr. Smith, they were amazing.
Thank
I
you.
did find a thing of signs, we might have a giant Dilly Bar
How
sign.
many for the December 7th concert do you think we should order?
Keith,
So I only have about 20 fire kids, and I think his combo is fairly small too. I would probably say 50 to 75, just off the top of my head.
Uh-huh. And how about the 9th?
Probably 75 to 100.
Yeah,
Just give me a
So if we-
ballpark. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. My band and orchestra colleagues are also performing on the 9th. So Cindy, do you have another idea?
I was thinking probably around 100, because I think Mr. Manent's a little under 50 for
Yeah.
6th grade.
yeah, yes.
He's at like 48 or 49. For the ones that are gonna perform, not the ones that like just joined this week.
Oh, okay.
I'm at about like a little under 30. So there we're at about 70-ish, 80.
So if I put
Somewhere in that
200
range.
in for the 7th and 9th, I ordered
Hey,
200
Ms.
Dilly
Salza,
bars.
Ms. Salza, I'm
Yes.
sorry. The 7th is my 7th and 8th grade. I have about 47 kids in that group. So
And-
maybe 100 for that concert.
Wait, who else is performing with you? You've got 47 kids, and you said there's someone else performing at that one?
Yeah,
Also jazz, the jazz ensemble.
Jazz ensemble.
Yeah.
Okay, do we know how many are there?
About 15.
Okay.
But I think if we
15
put an
jazz.
order in for 200 dilly bars,
That'd be
as
good
long
for
as we
both
can
nights.
store the leftovers
Yeah.
to the 14th, then we can reevaluate and order what we think we need for the 14th.
Yeah, I think that is a good plan.
Probably
Um,
need 200.
I was just gonna say, for the 14th, what would be a goal number to order for that?
I'd say probably, I wouldn't do more than like probably 120, because we don't want a ton of them left over.
It's kind of nice to sell out. And then
Yeah,
like people.
I would do,
wanna-
I would do 100, because there's been years where like we've ordered for 5th grade and thought we would have a lot more, but for the winter concert, we tended not to sell a lot.
And with the staggered too, it might be increase that as well.
Yeah, because we're not sure how that's going to.
So
Because
I would
we
say,
could
I would say
increase, we could
120 at most,
increase, it's hard to
maybe.
know, isn't
I
it?
agree.
It's
Yeah.
hard to know.
So do you just want to do 100 or you want to do 120?
I'd rather go 120.
So I'll order 100 for the 7th, 100 for the 9th, which will all be here at the same time. I'm gonna have them all delivered for the 7th, and then I'll make sure there's at least 120 for the
Will
14th.
100 of those fit into a normal freezer?
Yes.
Okay, I don't know. So
And the
I-
boxes are pretty,
Yeah, they're pretty
I was gonna
compact.
say the ones that you had for the previous concert, they came in 2 separate boxes, but that's only because they were 2 flavors. And they easily could have all fit in one box, and one box easily fits into one of the freezers here. I mean, we did have to take one shelf out to put them in for the 10 minutes that they were in there. for,
Should I
but-
do a 70-30 split, 70 chocolate, 30 cherry?
I don't know about for
Because
the,
for the leftovers, we were about split. There's about 9 chocolate and about 9
I
cherry.
think
left
that's
over.
fair.
cherry.
tend to sell more chocolate than cherry.
Well, I'm saying, do we sell that many cherry though?
We do get
Yeah.
quite a few cherries.
Or
Yeah,
do we? Okay.
yeah,
I
because
don't-
there are some people that really don't.
I
like
just know one
chocolate.
year we did butterscotch. No.
And they don't even offer those anymore.
Yeah, they
I'm
don't
gonna-
even offer those anymore.
I'll do a 70-30 split.
Okay.
And then I can balance that for the 120, what we need to order more of.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like it. Good plan.
And I will contact, and I'm gonna have them deliver them early because I went in panic mode last time because we said a 7:45 delivery and the concert was over at like 7:35. So that was scary. We called
bad.
last minute and said, hey, can you please deliver sooner? If I were to have them delivered, what time do we have somebody scheduled to watch them, Tina, on our sign up, Tina?
I am scheduled to watch them at 7:45, but I can be there earlier.
And I will be here too, and I don't mind, because I'm just a floater at those 2 concerts, the 7th and the 9th. I don't have any other responsibilities, so I don't mind being available for that as well.
Do you think if I
Anytime
could
early.
have them delivered at 6:30,
Yeah,
Or
I'd
7?
be here and I could,
like right at the beginning of the concert, and then they're just here? We put them in the freezer like we
Isn't that what
did.
we used to do?
We used to do like between 7 and 7:15. They
Yeah.
would show up.
I'll do a 7
I was
PM
gonna say, they used to
delivery.
come at some point during the concert.
that'd
Yeah.
be perfectly fine, because everybody would be in the gym, hopefully out of the commons.
It was a lot
All
easier
of
just
that.
to, they knew exactly.
It'll
where
be
to
a
go.
little crazy when, on the 14th with the
Yeah.
shifts, but I'm scheduled to help that night, so I can handle that.
And I can be around. I'll be helping Mr. Smith, but I can be around.
Okay, 7 PM delivery for all 3 concerts. Dilly bars set. Thank you.
Well, I was gonna say, the 5th graders will be done by 7:15 for band.
The band will be done by seven
we'll be done
fifteen,
by
and
7:15.
they will have the option to go home. We're trying to reduce as much people in the gym as possible.
Right.
Because if we combined and they were both there, we could have easily had 500-600 people in the gym. And in COVID, that's a big no-no. So
So 7 PM delivery should still be okay.
I
'cause
think so.
that'll be 15 minutes before you're done.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Scholarships for families who can't pay their music fee, discussion, and also solo and ensemble discussion. I think those are our things to wrap up
I
with
got a
tonight.
number from Mason about the fifth grade thing. He
Okay.
said 12 at the most.
12 at the most right now.
4 per grade. 3 to 4 per grade. Per band, yes.
Okay, so we'd be talking 12 kids. For, 300 only? $254, right? Did my
12
math
times
just go?
25,
25 times 12.
254. How's my math, Mr. Cannon?
300. 12 times 25 is 300.
Good job, 300. So the fee for the winter band festival would be a max of $300.
Yes.
So Mr. Tankersley had brought up a possibility of providing funds for families in need to pay the music ensemble fees. I don't know if you all got my email that I sent out with an idea of having like a scholarship that we set a set amount each year. This is how much money is available for scholarships. And then directors could apply for that money, similar to how we do on the PTA right now for the after-school clubs. If they want funds, they send in a request. We have a set amount of money in the budget and we give it out as long as we have it. I don't know how directors feel about that, but I mean, I think we definitely should support families that need the help. I think that's why we're here, is to get these kids involved in their music ensembles. And if the money's keeping them out of it, then I think we definitely need to help. And I'd kind of like to just see something set up for the future. If nobody needs it, the money sits there and it rolls over to the next year. Kind of like we talked about on the other ones. If we have more families that need it, we pay a percentage of it, whatever we can afford to do. Thought, feedback, ideas?
It would probably be primarily for band and choir. Just because we do have the Diane Morrow Fund for orchestra if we need it. We're trying to focus most of that towards the 5th grade beginning program, but if we really need it with a 5th grade or junior high family, we can tap into it. That's not a big issue. So I would say it's more of a Mr. T, Mr. Manin thing. I think it's a good idea to have the directors be the ones that apply though. That way it's not just because there's the two different things. You don't want to confuse parents either.
Right.
Additionally, as part of a discussion, Ray, Keith and I
Well,
had
that's,
with-
I was texting Keith right now to see if that,
right,
got
that
anywhere
as part of a
first.
discussion we've had with District, Ray, Keith and I, we talked to Mr. Langdon about the scholarship fund, the Diane Morrill, as well as thinking of other options. And one thing that was brought up was possibly a fee waiver, since performing arts is one of the few things that students can't get any kind of waiver for. So Mr. Tankersley or Ray can talk more about what was discussed there, but Mr. Langton was definitely for looking at opportunities to help alleviate that barrier, the financial barrier. And I know it has been discussed. We don't know how far in the process that is, but that was discussed probably in September with Mr. Langton.
have we heard anything more on that, Mr. Tankersley?
Well, I've not heard anything more about it. I do plan to reach out before the end of the year to Mr. Keeley or Mr. Langton. I did want to give them some time before I, touch base with them again. So I will do that.
For this year, what is the fee amount? It's $50?
So the fee's already been charged for this year to their accounts. It's already been paid because it's been due.
Well, we've had some students that have joined since the beginning of the year.
Are they charging them the
Yes.
full fee?
Yes, so it is the full $50 still.
It's not a prorated?
Nope. Not this year. At least that's
Okay.
what Mr. T was told. So he passed it on to us.
Okay.
So for this year, and hopefully the district can subsidize some fees or fee waivers or, reduced fees or whatever they do. I think that is something that should happen.
That's our ultimate.
But for the time being in this year, and even if it doesn't become a full fee waiver, if the district lowers prices, we still might want to have a scholarship in place to help families in need. So how would people feel about setting a dollar amount in our budget, and then that would help the family this year? Mr. Tankersley would just apply for that scholarship on behalf of that family that's in need, or if there's others to get us through.
I don't know, I might have one, but I don't know.
Would we keep it in the same line as the Diane Memorial Fund where it would cover half the amount, or are we talking where it would cover the full amount?
I think we're flexible. We're setting up something new.
With the Diane Morrill thing, since it was the $100, we had talked about half. I don't know if it was the junior high then, if we were still doing half, or if we were just keeping it like the $50.
Gotcha.
I don't remember if we actually went into detail about that because we were mainly focusing on starting it with the 5th grade program.
Okay.
So that would be something.
Well, we had
That'd be
just
something to circle back to.
Yeah.
we have just short of $5,000 in our account right now. We're about to get another 4,000 in our account. I would feel very comfortable if anybody else wants to chime in with numbers, that's fine, but I would feel very comfortable setting up a $500 scholarship for this year. That could become a line item every year in the budget for scholarships to help families cover ensemble fees, district fees for ensemble. That dollar amount could change from year to year, whatever it needs to do, but I think 500 would be a healthy place to start for this year. Would that be a satisfactory amount to directors? And I feel very confident that our budget can easily handle that. Yes. Would anybody want to make a second that say what?
I second
for
the $500 line item for families to help with district fees.
Awesome. And directors, could we create some sort of really easy form to submit to apply for that on behalf of families?
Yeah, we can make it.
Yeah, we can make it for.
Would that be, is that doable?
Is there any specific criteria that you want them to meet?
I think we leave that to the discretion of the directors.
Okay.
Unless you're not comfortable with that. But the district's gonna look at fee waivers based on other items. I think we're a booster club and we can just let directors apply when they need it.
I'm not, because I have the Diane Laurel thing, so that's all
Yeah,
everybody else.
I mean,
Could you,
Yeah.
does
I'm
that
with you,
sound
yeah.
good to you, Mr. Tankersley?
I think I am very happy with the music parents' decision.
I think Mr. M would be very appreciative of it as well. Like, I don't think he would have any objections.
Okay, so we'll put that $500 line item into our budget for how you worded that for district fees, Tina, that was perfect. And
Okay.
so directors just apply for that. The board can vote and approve, and then John can get money to who it needs to go to.
Sounds good.
Thank you for taking care of the form, getting that figured out. That's awesome. So that takes care of the families in need. We've approved up to $300 for the winter festival for 6th or 8th grade band students. I think, did we approve that? Or did we just talk about it?
You just talked about
I'm sorry. Sorry. So I would move that we approve up to $300 for the winter band festival for 6th or 8th grade students.
I second that.
All right. And then that takes to what we need for solo and ensemble.
So there's a few different things for solo and ensemble. One thing that I kind of quickly mentioned with Mr. T and Mr. Manin was depending on how many students we have that are signing up for solo and ensemble, there's always a tiny fee that goes into solo and ensemble. It's like under $10. We weren't sure if sort of a similar like scholarship type thing where music parents would be willing to cover some of the costs for students to participate if needed. It was just kind of a random thought that we had, so we're not really going into any of that today. Today is mainly just kind of ironing out the details of what like is needed for volunteers so far. Basically, we're estimating that there's going to be like 3 different shifts. There'll be like a morning shift, which we're guessing will be about 6:30 to noon, a PM shift of about noon to 5:30, and then there's the all-day shift. And that would be for being like in person. Some of those can like assignments will be being the welcome table, which is people walk in, you say hi, give them a map, and just kind of smile through the map.
Guide people, help out with first troubleshooting line.
And then there will be a contest room monitor, which will be 1 per room. On the estimate we were given, we were told there's usually about 11 performance rooms for our area. Obviously, we won't know for sure until all the information comes in, but we're guessing about 11. A warm-up room monitor, which that's 1 to 3 adults, depending on the size of the room. Like the vocal warm-up room, if it's a little bit smaller, we'll probably only need 1, but if we use the big gym for a warm-up room, then we might need a few more. Setup and teardown crew. we usually have students do this, but we need a few adults just to kind of help supervise. And that's actually one that the setup is usually done the night before.
Yeah.
So that would be done Friday, as long as we can make sure that it's okay with the building stuff. And then the tear down would be Saturday. Concession workers pretty much just sell things. Obviously, we're hoping to have quite a few adults there because of money. But we can always have kids there to be the ones that you're like, hey, I need this, go grab it, and have the kids do the running around. Contest office workers, pretty much you'll be stuck with me all day. And then like metal distributors, when they get the metal, so somebody to work the metal table, they come, they bring you a card, you hand something out.
How many office workers do you need?
Approximately 6.
See, my eyeballs are so
I was
bad.
gonna say, is that helpful?
Yeah, it's 6 to 10. I
And
ran Wisconsin State Solo Ensemble for quite a few years when I was in college. And we ran headquarters with 6 people, and it actually worked out really well. So I'm hoping I can get away with 6.
Okay.
That is my hope. Because I have a whole system. And it works. We can handle state, we can handle this. That's my thoughts.
Oh, yeah.
And this breakdown is already in your sign up Genius? Like how many people you need?
In the sign up Genius, right now, it's just asking like AM shift, PM shift, or all day.
But
Just
you've
to get
already
a very-
taken like these. Okay. And then you'll assign them as they sign up.
Yes.
Perfect.
There is, like, I believe I put in the sign up Genius that like, obviously if there's somebody who signs up who's not able to do a lot of standing, they're probably not gonna want to do concessions.
Right.
Things like that. So once we get a better idea of how many people will be working the shift, I'll be able to kind of reach out to those volunteers and be like, these are the positions. Do you have any preferences or anything you can't do? And then go from there. Solo Ensemble is in February, so I'm kind of in the very early stages. Of course, we will be asking for people to donate snacks, like individually packaged things for concessions. That'll also come up later. I did make a nice fancy QR code and everything for a sign up Genius for Solo Ensemble, but there's not many people to scan the QR code. But I will send out all of that, and I'll probably send out this whole slideshow to you guys.
Okay.
That way you have it all.
Do you need people to, is this like a large group where you're gonna need a lunch for the judges and breakfast for the judges?
We weren't told anything about breakfast, but generally I think we get a little bit of coffee and some donuts, like just a kind of informal thing. Because there was, at least
The
when we
directors
hosted the
used to
big
make something.
contest,
Is that just for the judges or is that open for like directors also?
that was usually part of the judges meeting when we would host like district contests. So it wouldn't be for directors, it would just be for judges. But there is a director's lunch and a judge's lunch. I'm guessing if we have 11 performance rooms, we're gonna have 11 judges. We'll be getting more guidance on like the lunches and how those are supposed to work at a meeting in January, because they like to give us a month to try to throw this together. Real nice of Exmo. Real nice.
We could, last year we were gonna do large group before the craziness,
Yep.
and I had contacted Nardi's to set up a nice lunch, and
Okay.
we could contact them.
Yeah.
Just to reserve a date
That would work. Yeah.
and some rough, like, we'll get numbers to you in January, but
Yeah.
like, can you cater?
That. Yeah.
And-
Nardi's would be nice.
Do we want them to sell like pizza slices? Will we want that for a small group?
If they are willing to do that, that would be nice.
I mean,
I think for
they have,
concessions,
we were gonna do that for large group last year.
Yeah, if we can get them to do what they were gonna do for large group, I say do it. Go for it.
Okay,
Bring them in.
cause they do like a real nice salad, bread roll,
Yeah,
roast beef, pasta kind of thing for lunch, and
yeah.
like
and
a
if-
nice lunch.
I was gonna say, usually at Solo Ensemble, they have like the cafeteria like they do at the organizational.
Well,
contests.
Yes, there's the concession stand, which is open for everybody, but then there is a special director's lunch and a special judge's lunch.
Oh, no, I'm talking about for the pizza slices and stuff.
Yeah,
So yeah, usually there's like a cafeteria for kids to go eat.
So the pizza slices would be
And
part of.
pizza slices
concession.
for,
It can
for the
be part of
concession
concession.
stand. So like
If-
there's hot dogs and nachos and all of
if
that
they're,
stuff.
as long as that's something that Nardi's is okay to do, yes.
Yeah. So usually that does exist at Solo Ensemble.
Okay, so we'll need hot dogs, nachos, popcorn.
Pop chips, all that
Yeah.
stuff.
And all of these things I'm gonna kind of ask for donations for, just to see how much we can get before we have to actually spend any money
And
to
I
get
would
things.
definitely include just a monetary donation because there's
Yep.
many parents that would, here's $20, but don't bug me.
Yep, exactly. And we might be able to reach out to some other like local businesses to see if they want to donate anything.
I know the carpet company in town always donated stuff for all. the kids.
Yeah. Or even like if there are small family businesses that do food and they want to give us like a big collection of food and
Larry's
sell it,
Tacos.
and we like advertise them, like things like that are kind of all in my brain.
And but January is gonna be here before we know it.
Yep.
And like companies need time, like if they're going to do that, what date is this?
February 26th.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah, we
only
can't
have-
really wait till the end of January to contact.
Well, we have
these
14
places.
days until break.
I mean, early January I think is fine, but like
Yeah.
our meeting won't be till the end of January and that's pushing it
Yeah.
to get all that done.
I mean, like I said, the problem is a lot of the info from IGMA is, we'll tell you on the 17th, we'll tell you on the 17th, we'll tell you on the 17th.
14
Like,
students.
When we were supposed to host contests, IGMA was gonna give us a
Not for
check
us,
to
though.
cover some portion of judge's lunch and things like that.
Right.
I don't know what that amount is for solo and ensemble. For district contest, I wanna say it was like 120.
I think like I had contacted Clyde's, they were gonna donate donuts.
Yeah,
And we were gonna have that at the concession stand, because if you have a morning time, you want donuts, not
Yeah.
pizza.
All the
So
kids will eat pizza
Well,
anytime.
you're right,
I was
but the
gonna say,
parents
well,
wanna donate.
I will-
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah,
be
kids will eat
pizza.
pizza.
So I think we could start contacting some of these places to say, would you donate for this, because I also found like, somebody said, yeah, Panera, but they were booked a month and a half in advance for their leftover day old items. So we could contact some of them now that we know we're gonna need concessions.
Yeah.
So we could probably maybe start contacting some of the places and getting some of that rolling.
Okay.
If you would be comfortable with that.
It's concert season.
I mean, like,
Oh,
I'll
okay,
do
yeah.
that for you.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm good with it. As my brain is kind of trying to do all this during concert season is also. been-
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I am more than happy, whatever contacts anybody has, work it. I am 100% for it. I will be bothering the fire department to see if they want to donate somehow. Even if they just donate Band-Aids at this point, I will take it. Because I don't know for sure how the nursing thing is gonna work. That's a whole different thing. I don't know if we're gonna have a nurse that day or not. So that's another thing that they won't tell me until the 17th.
Usually we.
Cindy, you're talking about it. Cindy, you're talking about an IGMA appointed nurse?
IGMA usually would give a check for us to find a nurse.
Yeah, usually district, we get a.
Yeah.
nurse- We ask district to give us a nurse, then we pay them using.
Well,
IGMA funds.
that's what I think we should start there, and I can help you with that if you would like.
I mean, I'm just basing this all on what they did for district contest. I don't know if for solo and ensemble they do that.
I think legally we have to have a nurse.
I think
Yeah.
so, but that's
Yeah,
one of the things that I
Let
don't
me-
know.
If you don't mind, let me touch base with Chris, and I agree with Ray. I think we're going to need to have a nurse. I'd rather ask one of our nurses.
Even if district picks up the cost, we need to have it legally, we need to have a nurse on here for that.
I don't know if it's legally, let me just, I'll just touch base. We'll talk about it.
Cool. And so waiting on the fee.
Until we finalize. I have I have approximately 30 events. But I don't know exactly how many there are for band or choir. And I believe the ensemble was like $825 and the solo was like $575 or some weird number like that.
Do we get any discount for hosting it?
I do not believe so, no. Because I believe it goes to the cost of the medals. But yeah, so if it is that under $10, then we can probably,
Do you have
Work it out.
students have need to pay an accompanist fee?
yes, that would be for students who choose to do a solo. They will take care of their own accompaniment fee unless there's some extenuating circumstances, which then they can talk to us.
Because that could be another scholarship item if it needed to be
Yeah,
in that 500.
okay. Because I think it's usually $20 for the, I
20 or
think usually,
25.
yeah,
Might
20 or
be
25. And I know I actually have quite a few students signed up for solos that I did not expect, which is kind of exciting. I don't know how many Mr. M has that are solos versus anything else. Or Mr. T.
Any other discussion over solo and ensemble right now at this point?
Here's the scan the QR code to go to the Sign Up Genius if you're interested in volunteering, please.
Which again, I'll send out the Google Slides thing to all of music parents, so that way, like Tina, that way you can have all the access to everything and all that stuff too.
Awesome.
Also,
Thank you.
want to point it out, and Tina, please put a note. I do appreciate Ms. Toika's efforts on solo and ensemble, getting it prepared, getting a head start in November on this big monstrous event, and I appreciate her confidence in how this event is going to go and her expertise and her experience. So I did just want to say, for me, thank you, Ms. Toika, for all your prep work on this event.
Well, thank you.
Yay.
I appreciate the thanks.
Yay.
It's going to be a great event. I really think like the kids seem excited, and I think like obviously preparation is key. Cindy, Ms. Toika has been super organized, super even ahead of the curve. I think even for IGSMA people, because we sent an email to IGSMA and they're like, what? Relax, take a breath. But we do want to be prepared for this event because it is such a big undertaking. So I appreciate her organization, and for music parents for already prepping the food and the donations. I mean, we as directors, especially right now, that is a big load off of our plate, and we appreciate that. So thank you very much.
I definitely appreciate that. I really do.
Yeah. It'll be good.
Yeah,
Okay.
it'll be good. And feel free.
Are we
to
done?
email
I
me with
think
things.
we can adjourn.
Yeah.
Unless anybody else, did you get our big $300 for Winter Festival, $500 for scholarship? That's in our notes.
All done.
Awesome. You're amazing. Thank you.
You're welcome, guys.
Then let's adjourn at 7:20 something. I don't have eyeballs.
7:23. I already wrote it down. 7:23. Proud. This is supposed to be fast. Bye, guys.